Hello folks, just checking in this morning just to tell you things are progressing here in the museum. Yeah, hang on, I'll turn you around and you can see my little snow tractor there. Hang on, I'll switch you around. See, the cab's gone on it. And what else? The cab. Oh, the whole structure. I used to have a structure for a bucket. It used to be, instead of the blower, there's a bucket that goes, but this part here and the frame part used to be on it. So I took that off yesterday. Oh, what a job, I'll tell you. I didn't know that I had reinforced that over the years, and it wasn't easy to take off, let's say. But this is not what. Look at this under there. That's, see that there, the jack. That's what this video. Just to show you a little bit there. See that's the charger. Things are progressing. Ooh, look at the front here, and it's opened up a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, I'll start my vehicle up. I had mentioned a little bit earlier that there was a bit of just a small vibration in the drivetrain, and now trying to pinpoint that. I have my long distance stethoscope here. And I'll give you guys a listen to while we're at it. I have to, this is why I'm gonna stop this video and start it up once it's running, because and I have to open the door because we're inside right now, and I don't want to keel over from carbon monoxide. So yeah, guys, stay in there and I'll bring it back. Okay folks, yeah, I gotta get closer to the camera. Now we see it's on it's on the jack, but I got jack stands right in front, and yeah, listen to this. Got my stethoscope here. I'll put it to the camera. Can you hear the sound in there? I don't know if you can hear that, but before, hang on, I'll bring it. Before we jump to conclusions and open the inspection plate at the back of the rear end and take a look inside there for bearings, we'll do the easiest stuff first. Hang on, I'll stop the vehicle, close the door, and then I'll bring it back after. You heard that sound there? That's inside, well, it sounds like it's inside the rear end. So you hang in there. Listen to this, folks. Almost sounds like it's the bearing on that side. Hang on, I'll get my long distance stethoscope. Maybe I should get my real stethoscope. I'll bring it back. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I hope this is not too noisy for you guys. Can you hear that? Okay, now we're gonna go to the rear end. Okay, and now, hang on, I'm gonna go to the yoke in front, right here. Hang on. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, not the best. Hang on there. Oops. Yeah, hopefully this works. This is where it's the loudest. This is where it's the loudest, but hang on. No. I'll bring it back. Okay, folks, so I heard, I hope you heard something. It's a steady click, a click, a click, different sound from forward to reverse a little bit. But now I'm gonna see, in the diagnostic like this, you don't jump to conclusions. You go to the simplest thing first. And oh, by the way, I'm not an auto mechanic, eh? This is just a Joe backyard here. But from what I've learned through the years, you never jump to conclusions. Like, I won't open the rear end yet. I'll go to the simplest thing. I had done a universal joint on the Driveshaft diagnosis earlier this spring, and I had concluded that the rear drive shaft was alright because everything was tight and didn't get no jiggle. But just because you get no jiggle doesn't mean there's not something wrong. See, I'm starting to think that that rear universal joint may be seized, and that's why that clunk all the time. Oh, and look at this, folks. You see this? Hang on. Right there. I have two. They're different, but I have two in stock. So I'm going to take it apart. I have all sorts of pieces in stock for this truck. Just in case, eh? In case of a rainy day. So I'll take the drive shaft apart, and then I'll show it to you. And at the worst, if there's nothing wrong with the drive shaft, it give me a chance to put some synthetic gear grease, heavy-duty gear grease in the spline end that comes out of the transfer case. I seen yesterday. I was looking on YouTube for the diagnosis, more or less, of this clinking sound, and I seen Bruce Pender in there. I find him interesting, and he's always got some apropos videos on things that are that are happening with vehicles. He's got I think it's a pickup, but it's almost the same as the Yukon here. So he's talking about the famous clunk noise in the drive shaft from GM, and how you. Well, that's General Motors' way of taking the clunk out. Is what they do in the spline from the drive shaft to the transfer case. They just put some heavy-duty synthetic grease in there, and it tightens up things. But that'll only last for so long until the grease dissipates, and then after that, so we're gonna take the drive shaft off, and we'll bring it back after. I sure hope this turns out to be just a universal joint venture and not the rear end dismantling venture. Because I'm thinking of doing just a one video out of this, but I hope it doesn't turn out to be 10-15 videos. Okay, so hang in there, and I'll be back once the drive shaft's off. Okay, folks. Starting to look like we're going down the like Jerry there from a guy out west there says we're going down the rabbit hole with this. Joints on the, hang on, lowers you a little bit there. Ooh, things are kind of tight there. Oops, now they're loose. There, can you see that? This part here, joints, the ball joints, universal joint, not the ball joints. They're new, so I didn't remember that I had fixed those. This here, I'm trying to think. It's one of those greases that it's a synthetic grease, and it's it doesn't fall apart with heat. I'm gonna put a liberal amount in here. I seen Bruce Pender do this, and he really went to town with the grease. I'm gonna put enough, let's say, in here, but there, just a little bit more, just so there's some all around. And I got some all over myself too. Well, I hope you've seen something there. I didn't. Well, I didn't see the camera, I should say. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure this won't solve the problem. The next, hang on, I'll point this. We'll put this back together. We'll go for another test drive. I won't take you with me because I know this won't solve the. Hang on. I'm gonna show you something too while we're at it. I had put the, hang on. See here, I had put a whole bunch of these batteries, eh? They're handy for that, eh? Just the whole thing's together. Okay. Before I just wanted to put a clean rag on this before I send it under there. What did I do with my tape? Just want to put a little bit of tape on here, just so this doesn't all get dirty. And once I get in position, I'm gonna switch it around, take that off, and send it into its rightful spot. I just wanted to show you something. If you ever, ooh. I have a mark here. See what I did? Hang on. I'll get, I gotta get this. I want to mark this. Well, I have a mark on the yoke of the rear end. And this is where it was. Lined up with this. But now, hang on, I'll swing this a little bit this way. See the mark I just did there? So now I'm going to go 180 degrees. I was just thinking, like, I want to eliminate all the possibilities here as I'm going. Do the easy stuff first. And if we have to, we'll get into the rear end. We're not there yet. It could be the yoke bearing, because I can hear. That's where it was the loudest, eh? So if it's not this, I'm gonna swing this 180 degrees. That's something you gotta watch when you take your joints, your drive shaft apart at the rear end. And on the front ends too on these four-wheel drives. You should always mark it, eh? So you go back to the same spot. But just in case I mixed it up, I marked it, so I'm going to go 180 degrees and see how that does. So, needless to say, that's where we are. The simple cure, we're not there yet. We still have a little bit of vibration. It could be just the drive shaft on the wrong orientation. It wasn't a big vibration, but I don't like that noise. Another thing too could be is the little pins that hold the brake shoes there. If the little pin's broken, then the brake shoes hooking inside the drum. This has got drums on it, eh? That's one thing I gotta check in the wheels. We'll put this back together. We'll go for a drive, and we're not doing this whole job today. This is a diagnostic, and we're in this Corona episode here, so I have lots of time to find the cure. I hope we don't have to take the rear end apart, but if we have to, we will. So stick in there, and we'll see you in the next one.